Joining me live now, former Middle East negotiator Aaron David Miller to discuss this. How big was this move, Aaron?
I mean, it's significant. Thanks for having me, but it's not determinative. I only wish the Arab League had the kind of influence acting as a collective. But the reality is that there are two more important capitals right now. One is Washington, the other is Jerusalem. And of course, whatever is passing for the leadership of Hamas in Gaza. Most of the senior veteran leaders have been killed by the Israelis. There are a couple brigade commanders that are now making decisions. So I think Arab League, yes, with the right sort of combination of leadership from Israel and Washington, from the Trump administration, sure, you could harness the power of what the Arab League has done. But right now, neither Washington nor Jerusalem are, frankly, much focused on finding a quick and easy, or even a more difficult road out of this war that is now going to be 2 years old in 2 months.
So why isn't the Arab League making more waves then? Why has it, been basically quiet up until recently?
I mean, you could ask the same question about the EU. I mean, the reality is these collectives, BRICS, the globalized South, the European Union, they have their place and they can be significant actors. But the truth is that nation states pay attention, frankly, to what nation states have to say. And I think in terms of the Arab League, you're really talking about 4 or 5 out of 22 countries that actually are determinative when it comes to Gaza or the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, we could probably go through a few of those. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Egypt, right. So they're mostly aligned against Iran, which we know backs Hamas. So does that mean Hamas is not going to take any notice?
No, I mean, Hamas is clearly or was dependent on external support. Now they're making decisions, frankly, based on their own political survival. And that has a lot to do in terms of their own credibility and image, with not giving up the gun. I think that the possibility that Hamas would surrender civil governance of Gaza to a Palestinian technocratic government backed by key Arab states might work. But Hamas is not going to complete the work that the Israelis have started in terms of destroying its military presence. It is an insurgency. And, the old Americans saw you can't beat something with nothing. No matter how weak Hamas has become, it still is the most important and formidable Palestinian group in Gaza. And until you solve that problem, create an alternative to Hamas, better government, more security, more prosperity, and somehow link Gaza to a bridge to facilitate resolution of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which is many moons away right now, Hamas will continue to exercise its influence, sadly.
It's interesting you say that because, again, back to the Arab League, it mentions the PA, the Palestinian Authority, which has been dogged by claims of corruption in the past. Mahmoud Abbas himself accused of being not just anti-Semitic, but a Holocaust denier. So is the Palestinian Authority, when you're talking about Hamas replacements, is the Palestinian Authority and Mahmoud Abbas, who's now 89, really the way forward?
I mean, if you had to choose between Hamas and Abbas, I know where I would go. That said, the Palestinian Authority is perceived to be weak and feckless. It controls, and you're right, corruption, nepotism. It controls no more than 40%, largely the West Bank. The Israelis control 60%, which are the settlements, military zones, and nature preserves. If the Palestinian Authority were reformed and strengthened, if the current government of Israel, which frankly wants it to remain weak and feckless, had a change of policy, yeah, you could, and elections that would produce a more legitimate body. Yeah, I mean, in a galaxy far, far away, I could imagine the Palestinian Authority emerging as a credible force for governance. But we're not in a galaxy far, far away. We're tethered to the brutal realities back here on planet Earth. And none of them, frankly, at least for the Palestinian Authority, appear to be running in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, our Prime Minister has made a pledge to meet and talk to Mahmoud Abbas on the sidelines of the General Assembly at the UN next month. What that achieves, I don't know. Just while we've been talking, Aaron, the night skies have lit up over Gaza as we speak. Just a final note here while we take this vision, not clear on what's going on there, but this plan, this potential plan that's been floated for Israel to reoccupy Gaza, do you think that has legs, or is it sort of just floating up a balloon to see how the world reacts?
Well, and maybe a pressure tactic to get Hamas back to the table to do another interim agreement. But I think, frankly, the Israelis already occupy 75% of Gaza. The problem is that the other 25% are where the densely populated areas are now within less than 25%. You've got Gaza City, you've got Khan Yunis, and you have Rafah. So what the Israelis are talking about, if they're serious about this, is a military administration,
Right.
which they ran, as you know, from 1967 until the late Ariel Sharon, having built the settlements in Gaza, decided to dismantle them because of the impact that the occupation, military occupation, was having on the Israeli Defense Forces. So if the Israelis are intent on, it's a military occupation, but far more problematic is if in fact they intend to administer these areas. And that is the objective, because what they want to do is undermine the civil influence that Hamas still exercises in parts of Gaza. And that, I think, is a trap, which is going to generate more Israeli casualties and a energized Hamas insurgency.
Aaron David Miller, the former Middle East negotiator. It's always good to talk to you, Aaron. Thank you so much for your time.